Patrick, guess what came in the mail today?
Oh, what?
This.
Stick it in!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of the M&K Productions Podcast. I'm your host, Mac, joined here as usual by my co-host, Kristen, aka Miss Flamingo. How are you doing tonight?
I was just cleansing my palate as I was enjoying a blackberry sparkling water, but I am good. How are you doing?
Ooh, fancy sparkling water. I don't like sparkling water. I'm more of like a
I like it. I like
seltzer.
the Schweppes. I like the Schweppes brand.
Schweppes is really good. It is good, but I'm doing good. So we can, what's your water choice? Let us know down in the comments below. But we're joined here in part 2 of our sort of part 1, part 2 we do every year. We've been doing top 10 lists together, like end of the year, for about 3 years now, I believe. And this is no different. So this is part 2. Last time, after or before our John Voight episode, Kristen got the chance to sit down with John Voight, talk about the movie The Painter, now available on digital. We went over our top 10 worst films of 2023, and now we're going from the worst to the best, because we are going to be talking about our top 10 best films of 2023, which I feel like will be a lot more positivity, because I listened to that episode and it got really down near the ending of the episode because these movies are just so bad. But Kristen, this one's unique because I have not posted my top 10 list at the time of this recording.
No, you haven't shared it, and you usually do it
I'm quick.
before me.
Yeah, well, procrastination is a lovely hell of a drug, but you have no idea what's on the top 10 list, but you probably can
I do not.
You probably can guess what a few of them are going to be, but I will say
I have some thoughts.
Yeah, but I will ask you this.
Juiciness.
I will ask you this before we get into the list. Do you think that 2023 had more good movies than bad movies?
I think it had really good stories more than films. And I was looking at the list and I was like, okay, the execution was really well and the story was really promising. But I think 2023 was a great year for film, I must say, for box office. For as we talked over, even though it wasn't, we had some stuff with the strike, that definitely caused a rift of what was being released, but I think it was a good year for major non-superhero films, with the success of Barbie and Oppenheimer, the Taylor Swift Eras tour. There was a lot of stuff where people were just going to the movies to see something different and be amazed by, because if we look at the 2023 films of the year, Barbie was obviously number 1. I'm going to pull up the list. Barbie was number 1. Yes, we did have Super Mario Brothers. Spider-Man came in number 3. Guardians, Oppenheimer, and then we had Little Mermaid, Ant-Man the Wasp, John Wick Chapter 4, Sound of Freedom, and the Taylor Swift Eras tour. But this brought a lot of attention for people to go back to the theaters, even though I did mention there was 3 superhero movies. There was stuff in there that makes it stand out, like a John Wick 4, where it's still going and there's still an audience. Barbie, everyone went to go see because they wanted to be surprised by the story and how it was going to be told. So I think it was a good year for films and stuff for that, if that makes sense of what I'm saying.
Yeah, it was more variety for the people to go and see it, and there's a lot more to see than superhero movies and franchises. People want to see new stuff, and I think this last year was a good year to have that, get people back in theaters. Definitely, we'll say
no
that.
question. Since we both saw Barbie in theaters, we did talk about it.
Yep.
It's been nominated and getting awards the last few weeks. Do you think, since it was the highest grossing film of 2023, do you think we'll see a sequel to Barbie? Because
No.
Greta Gerwig is pushing it as a no, and
No.
I don't think so either. If anything, there might be a Ken thing.
Well, still, I don't. I think that would kind of ruin it. Like, what can you really do for
Mhm.
a what can you do for a sequel?
Exactly. There is no way to tell, I don't think, a sequel for Barbie.
No,
You
the only
know?
it would be like I can see like a spin-off, like you want to do like a TV show and how like she's in the real world, but even still, I think that's pushing it. I think Barbie is just, it's fine. It's it happened. It was a single movie, and I like that universe that it created,
I do
But
too. Now
yeah,
that
go ahead.
you want to get ready
Yeah,
to jump
let's
on in?
Yes, so I will start it off. So with my number 10, so remember, this list, just Kristen does not know what's on my list because it has not been posted
I
at the time it's recording.
don't.
So number 10 is a film that, looking back on it, has some big controversy because of its star, and I have a soft spot because I went on a journey with this film and its franchise, reviewing every single movie and lead up to it, and that's going to be Fast X is number 10 on my list.
It's gonna hurt. I like it already.
Rated PG-13.
I smell magic.
Only theaters May 19th.
Okay. That's-
Thoughts? Your thoughts on that?
It's amazing how like the last film was so trash from your perspective, and then now this one's like, oh yeah, it's
Okay,
gotta be number 10. The
okay,
new
okay.
one, it's gotta go in the
Okay.
top 10 for
Let
10.
let me explain. So when we had I think we recorded with AJ. I forgot what episode it was off the top of my head, but
It was
he had
our Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse episode.
Cross Survivors, we had an offline conversation talking about Fast X, and I was asking him about spoilers, and he told me, and I audibly like, this sounds like the worst movie of all time, but I was doing a retrospective for the series. I was like, I got to review it. I reviewed it, and I watched it, and it was just an experience. I love Jason Momoa. I want him to come back, like legit. It's so funny. It's entertaining. It's fun entertainment to me. I think with the Fast and Furious movies, unless you're 3, because 3 sucks and 4 sucks, it's just fun. And Fast X was just dumb fun. They know what they are, and it's awesome. And I love it's just funny, and it's like it's so serious. I like John Cena better in this movie than the last one. They actually fix his character like better. He's not like serious. He actually plays in his comedic potential, and it ends on a cliffhanger because we're getting another one. We're getting 12. So yeah, Fast X is not like, I wouldn't say it's like a
Is
great
wait, is Fast X number 11 or 12? Or not 12, 11 or 10?
Fast X is 10.
Okay, I was like, wait, I got stuck. I got so confused for a minute.
And we're Fast 11 is now being reported that it's just going to be one movie. It's not going to be a 2-part ending like they were teasing, and it's going to return to its street racing roots with a $200 million budget. So we will see how this plays out. But yeah, no,
Will
Fast X.
Not Blake Lively, Brie Larson be returning?
Well, I mean, she got shot in the last one, but she's okay. So
Oh my god, really?
yeah, she got shot because her character is Kurt Russell's daughter in the film.
Okay.
And I also like, shout out to Alan Richardson. He is probably one of the best new characters they have. He's like a good replacement for The Rock, even though the Rock is back. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on anymore. But yeah, Fast X was an experience.
As long as you enjoy it, that's what matters.
No, it was experience. What's your number 10?
My number 10, I'm a little surprised I put this high on the list, but because of how the last 10 minutes of how the film ends, but coming in at number 10 is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Huh? Miles?
Hey, who's the new guy?
I'm sorry.
Who are you?
I'm glad you asked, new guy. My name is Pravitra Prabhakar. I live in Mumbai. This is where the traffic is. This is also where the traffic is. There's traffic here too. Being Spider-Man is so easy. I fight a few bad guys. Quick break for chai with my auntie.
I love chai tea.
What did you just say? Chai tea? Chai means tea. You're saying tea.
Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Exclusively in movie theaters, June 2nd.
Whoa, why is that so high and why is that not so low?
That's because I thought everything in the film was so great with the animation, performances. Just how the film ends
Oof.
didn't do it for me. And that's why I ended up at number 10. Don't get me wrong. I love the entire film. I thought all the characters were great. I love the addition of Jason Schwartzman as our villain. Jake Johnson is incredible in it with his own baby in it. And then I love seeing Daniel Kaluuya. Oscar Isaac was phenomenal. Everyone in this film is great, including Haley Steinfeld. And I think I just finally watched Arcane,
Mm-hmm.
that series on Netflix.
Yeah.
I think, speaking like from the performances that Haley Steinfeld has done,
Mm-hmm.
she has an amazing voice for
She does.
voice acting, and she does a great job in that field, better than her performance work that what we've seen her in like film over the years. Like I love her in The Edge of 17, but everything else like that goes on between that, like what she's done with live action, I just think her strongest to date is definitely in the voice animated department field, and she has a talent for that because I loved her in Arcane and I love her in the Spider-Man films. So she's really good, and I'm surprised that this film did not win the Golden Globe the other night. I was a little bummed.
Bullshit. That's what
But
it is.
yeah, but don't get me wrong. That's great to see The Boy and the Heron win, but I just loved everything about this. I feel like when I was watching this film, there was like something more exciting that happens that leads up, especially the scene where all the Spider-Mans are chasing Miles
Mm-hmm.
on that train. That
That was
scene
pretty.
is
Yeah.
that scene is just phenomenal. I just love it. And I'm excited to see where the third and the final installment are going to lead to, which is going to be Beyond the Spider-Verse.
Yep.
So, excited to see where it's going to, conclude, but not a fan of how it ends. Like it just
I
didn't
will.
do it for me.
Yeah, I will. A lot of people said like they loved the movie, but they said the ending was just. A lot of people were like, the ending was just like, why? I want more because it's like you have to
Not
wait
that I wanted more, it just didn't feel like
conclusive.
everything was so well earned,
Mm-hmm.
but it didn't feel like if they wanted to leave that suspenseful ending, like I
Mhm.
don't want to reveal it for anybody who still hasn't seen it yet. It should have been an almost complete conclusion,
Yeah, I feel that, but I can see where you're coming from. Yeah,
And shout out to Issa Rae. She was in so not one but two of the highest grossing films of
Yeah.
2023.
I love Daniel.
So
Kaluuya.
shout out to her.
I love Daniel Kaluuya because Spider Punk is just so cool. He's like,
Spider-Punk was really cool.
he's like, I'll take orders, bruv. Oh, like my man, fight the power.
He was really cool. Everyone in this film is just like gave A plus performances, but
And we had
like I said, Haley Steinfeld's great.
And the best meme to do they did the best version of the
Spider-Man
Spider-Man point. The point like stop Spider-Man. Oh, who him? No, Miles Morales. So like, okay, I love these movies. I cannot wait for Beyond the Spider-Verse myself.
Are you ready for the female focused spinoff film?
I'm open to it. I think people are open.
Me too.
I'm curious because if it's at least the same team working on the Spider-Verse films, then I'm down for it.
Yeah, I haven't looked into it deeper, but I'm down for whatever it is. I'm sure Haley will be involved, and hopefully maybe Issa Rae's character will be involved. It all depends. Like if they bring on some of the same female characters for that, then I'll be like ready to watch it. But what's your number 9?
So number 9 is actually going to be a horror movie. So I was really skeptical of this going in because I saw the trailer. I was like, wow, this looks like shit. And then I watched it on 8 Max when me and my mom did, and we had a good time watching it. And it's going to be Evil Dead Rise, the newest film in the Evil Dead series.
This Friday.
Mom?
Everybody here dies by dawn.
What's wrong with you, Mom?
Evil Dead Rise. Rated R. Only in theaters Friday.
Contrary to popular belief, I love the 2013 Evil Dead movie. I know a lot of people are a little iffy on that film, but I like it because I feel like it's good returns of the OG Evil Dead. Like I love the Evil Dead franchise. I watch did you ever watch the series?
No.
You're missing
but
that.
I've seen the films. But wait, the TV show?
Yep, the Ash versus Evil Dead.
No, I
with
haven't
Bruce.
watched that. I
It's really
wanted
good.
to, but I haven't.
It's really good. If you're a fan of the films, give the show a watch. It was on Stars, but Evil Dead Rise is kind of a love letter to the original movie because instead of a cabin, it's actually like it's in an apartment building and it has brand new characters. I thought the characters were really interesting and compelling. I did like the story. I thought it was pretty good. The horror I loved the most. I think the horror was definitely the best, like compared to the 2013 version, and the practical effects were just out of this world. So I read that they used like I think 6 liters of fake blood, which I'm like I respect that 100% because yes, all for real life blood. Well, no, not like that. Wait, hold up. I said it wrong.
I was like,
Wait, but no, some of the shots they got, some of it is like legitimately kind of scary because the scene where the elevator it started filled with blood. That's actually a very good tenseful scene, and I did like
it
the character.
reminded me like of the scene in like The Shining where it like where the elevator like has all the blood coming out. It just reminded me because I've seen it too, but it just reminded me where all the blood is filling up because like blood in an elevator is like frightening to see. It's like water, like something like that. It's like anxiety.
And I like
built.
Oh yeah, they definitely took some inspiration from that. And I liked how the film isn't that predictable either because you would think with like can we do spoilers a little bit? Is that cool or
Yeah, little spoilers. Don't reveal the ending though.
okay, I won't. But like
want people to see these movies.
Some people got possessed, and it's one of those things where you're like, oh, maybe this will help, bring them back. But in a way, it's like I like how unpredictable it was, where you didn't know who was really gonna. That made it more unpredictable. Because like when other characters got possessed, I'm like, oh, you're really gonna do that? Okay, that's interesting. Like I thought they were gonna make it, but I was actually like surprised. And the kids in the movie actually didn't make me want to yell at them at all. They were actually kind of like they're horror movie kids that didn't make me want to like cry or anything. But yeah, no, it's just Evil Dead Rise. If you're a fan of the series, check it out. It's still a really good movie in my opinion. I don't know. Did you like it?
It was fine. I don't think I loved it as a lot of other audiences did. Like I thought it was solid enough, and I think that it was a good new telling of it. Because it was like, so I was thinking about it. It was like the last one since I saw what's her face? Jane, I think it's Jane
Levy.
Is it
Jane? Yeah, Jane Levy.
Yes.
In 2013.
Yeah, when they last did it. So I thought that was a good follow-up to it.
Well, this was originally going to be a streaming movie only, then they changed it to theaters.
That was a smart decision. I think it would have been like I didn't get to see it in theaters because I saw it like late. Like this was like one of the movies I saw like late into 2023, like towards the end of the year. So it didn't like really make my top horror movie list, but I thought, okay, this is pretty good.
The trailers did not do this movie any justice because I laughed because
oh no, because it didn't look as good.
No, and it made me laugh.
It
made me laugh, and she's like, "Eeny, meeny, miny, you." I'm like, what?
Yeah, because do you know what's funny? Because like last week we talked about like some of the worst films, and I put The Exorcist, Believer, and I liked the trailer for Exorcist Believer, and then and I didn't like The Exorcist Believer, and then I didn't like the trailer for Evil Dead Rises, and I was like, okay, Evil Dead Rises solid enough. Like what was wrong with this picture here? Was something wrong with the editing for these trailers? So yeah, but that's your number 9. That's a solid choice.
Thank you. What about you? What's your number 9?
My number 9, I am very happy to see on this list because I love the talented Keanu Reeves. So we have to put, in my opinion, John Wick as my number 4. Number 4, number 9.
I was like, wait, what?
I'm looking at I saw number 4. So John Wick Chapter 4 is going in at my number 9 spot.
Mr. Wick, I'm going to die. Yeah, not really.
Little high, but I can agree that it's in the top 10 list.
I have some other good ones, so just wait. But with the film being delayed to the pandemic, because of the pandemic, I was so eager to see this film, and the wait was worth it because it was an incredible follow-up to the third film. The action sequences, ooh, the fight sequence with Donnie Yen, ooh, and then the stairs battle where he's going up the stairs. Oh, those action scenes are just on point. And I loved the cast of seeing, Rita Soyama, Bill Skarsgård. I know he wasn't like a fan favorite, I think, from Villains, but I liked him enough. I thought he was good. Like, and
I
Keanu Reeves just knocks it out of the park. I know this is like, I don't want to spoil it, but if this was a final performance, he does such a good job.
I don't think it's gonna be a
And
final performance.
and then also Lance Reddick, God,
Rest in peace.
yes. Oh, so good. And Scott Adkins.
Didn't even
He's
know that was him.
there.
Didn't even know it was him till after the movie because I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, where's Scott Adkins? And I'm like, they're focusing on this one character, and I realize it's him. I'm like, oh my god, I did not notice him without the makeup. And
Yeah, I know. He did such a good job. Chad Stilinski did such a good job with this film. It's such a good follow-up. I know the story is pretty basic, but do you know what? That's what they are for these John Wick films. And what delivers is Keanu's performance and the action sequences that you go into it. And I was so happy I saw this in theaters, and I loved this revenge scene, the thriller thing, and I love the post-credit scene.
yeah, that's actually could set
Everything in
up.
this so good. And then I'm excited for Ballerina to come out this year. I'm so excited.
I'm very. I don't
So
know about that because I'm not really. I was like, I'll check it out. Like Continental's okay. It's not really doing anything for me, but the
I
action.
didn't watch Continental yet, but
It's
I'm
okay.
excited.
But like I did say, one of my favorite action scenes. You know me being the gamers, the overhead shot when they had the Dragon Breath shotgun. It was like felt like a top down shooter, and it was just so great. I will say this is probably because it is on my list too. It's just with
Little
Keanu, he very is I'd say this is probably the most emotional he shows with John Wick since the first movie, in my opinion. That's just me though.
That's good. That's a good take. I do like this more though than the sequel. So like, because I was trying to figure out how I rate the films. Like, obviously, like I feel like I'm torn between like number 1 and like number 4 is my favorite. Then number 3 is my second favorite. Like 2 kind of goes lower down a little bit for me, but all of them are just so entertaining. And this was such a good fun.
That's one of the movies where like there's not a bad movie. It's actually all really good.
Yeah. And it's hard to rank these.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Maybe we'll do a John Wick episode in the future.
Oh, that would be fun. We did do a Keanu Reeves retrospective, so
why not John
we gotta
Wicks?
revisit. We gotta revisit the John Wicks.
Yes.
All right, what's your number 8?
So number 8 is a film. I had to go back and make sure it came out this year because I was like, I got all these movies. I got so like overwhelmed, but it's gonna be Missing.
My mom never came home from her trip. There's gotta be a way to find her. What about security footage? No! I'm not giving up on my mom.
You're going through her boyfriend's email? He's a felon? Someone's hiding something.
We're running out of time. Where is she?
Missing. Rated PG-13.
Which is the standalone sequel to Searching. I love Missing. Really sad that it didn't get a lot of love. Like it got love, but not a lot. It was very underrated. Like I told my dad, like, we're gonna go see this movie, and he's like, "What is it?" And I said, "Well, you ever see Searching?" He's like, "No." I said, "Okay, you're in for a ride." It was really good. It was very suspenseful. It was anxiety ridden. Like if you have anxiety, this film will mess you up because it's just a lot of twists and turns. I love Storm Reed. She played the teenage girl really interesting. Like she actually played like a very realistic portrayal of like a teenage girl, and I liked it. Well, not like that, but like she was very relatable.
Yeah, I
Like,
know what we all know. We know what you meant next. Don't
yeah.
worry.
Okay. Yeah. But then I like the way the film is presented. It is very like I do like the one screen and everything. It's really good to just have it like she's opening things, tabs, and everything like that. And like I mentioned, the twists and turns. I did like the plot twist because that's something I was not expecting. That was pretty good. And I kind of want another movie like this because I don't know. Did you watch Searching? Correct.
Yeah, and I thought it was excellent. Like I watched Searching with my family, and they all really liked it when it came out at the time. And it was funny because that movie was like first at like a Sundance thing, and then it got more buzzworthy.
Yeah. Well,
And
there's actually a film inside of Searching. Did you know that?
really,
Well, yeah, there's I was watching Let Me Explain a while back, and it was they were saying like in the background is actually it's kind of I think the director said it's like an alien invasion in the background.
oh yeah, I remember that now. Yeah.
I
I
wouldn't
remember
mind.
watching that.
So I was looking for that and missing, and I didn't find anything like that. But it would be really cool if they did a third movie in this style, because like Missing actually takes place in the same universe, but it's just its own story. So I think that's very interesting. So I think they should maybe make a third movie about what happened in Searching, like the background, and make that the plot. And this type of style of movie can work. Like my thing is that Unfriended was just so terrible, and it like turned me off from the style of like film to have it from a web screen like perspective, but it actually works for Missing. So I like Missing. Give Missing. It's on Netflix. Watch it.
Yeah, it is on Netflix. I do want to watch it before I have to cancel my Netflix subscription because I am going to cancel Netflix, y'all, at some point, but don't know when yet. But yeah, that one is definitely on my list before to like watch before I cancel my subscription. But still happy to see it on your list because I haven't seen that come up on a lot of people's lists. So
It was good.
You being different for that. So amazing. All right. My number 8. We're going into the biographical sports drama realm. And that is the movie we reviewed last year, the final movie we reviewed, and that was The Iron Claw.
Yeah.
The challengers from Denton, Texas, weighing in at a combined weight of 690 pounds, Kevin, Kerry, and David Von Erich.
Look at my beautiful brothers.
The Von Erichs are the greatest family in the history of wrestling.
Loved this film. And I was thinking about it. I think I have a thing for wrestling / boxing movies because I love the intensity of it between like what I watch in Creed, The Fighter, Rocky, Southpaw. Like I was thinking like all these movies. I was like, oh yeah, I like all these like boxing, wrestling movies. These are pretty good. Like I think I have a soft spot for them and I enjoy them. And just going into the film itself, Sean Durkin, dude, you did an amazing job. I'm acting like he's here. Sorry. But he did such a good job directing everybody with Zac Efron, which is a damn shame that he is not getting recognized this award season. Like, it kills me that nobody in this cast has been recognized. But yet, it was the National Board's review is like one of the top 10 films of the year. So critics, audiences, like SAG, what are we missing here? This had everything in it from all these amazing performances.
Did you cry like I said you were gonna do?
Yeah. Yeah, we were sending some tears, like what we talked about in the film review. Like everything in this film was so good. And I know there was like somebody was like in my when I reviewed it on TikTok, they're like, oh, but they didn't include one of the Von Erich family. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, but like I commented as like what we talked about in the episode. There was just like so much sadness in that film. But Sean Durkin did the best that he could to tell this film, and I'm so happy A24 released this, and it had some good theater response with a $15.9 million budget. The box office, I think it was pretty fair with its return of a 29.3 million, and it's still showing pretty strong in theaters, I think. But
Well, it's about to have a
I
release in the UK next month, so that's pretty good.
yeah, I love it. I just wish that the performances, I thought the score was really good. Like, I'm looking back at all the stuff that we talked about here, and it's
So I will
even
say,
the editing is great. Like,
I
it's so good.
Ironclaw did not
Definitely underrated. Oh, go ahead.
Ironclaw did not make my list because I made the list before I saw it, and I was pissed because I already had the list set. So that's like an honorable mention. So I'm
It's not.
pissed.
It wasn't too late to change it, Mac. It's not too late.
No, once my list is set, that's my rule. I gotta change it, but it was probably gonna be a tie with number 3, to be honest with you. But nope, no indecisiveness here at the M&K Productions Podcast. It's set. It's set.
So for me, like, I don't like making my list until like after Christmas because I'm still like catching up on stuff.
Mhm.
So I know a lot of people like still do, like, a lot of critics put their lists out before like all the holiday Oscar buzzy movies come out, but I'm just like, well, if like they put like such and such on their list, like if they put Maestro on it, I want to see Maestro too. And hence the Maestro is coming up on my list. But yeah, no, like I always wait until like after, the holiday, like after Christmas to like look back and say, what did I watch for that year?
Mhm.
So I say it's never too late to start making the list.
Yeah.
So, and go back and make edits. But yeah, going back to it, shame this film is not getting recognized much longer. The Iron Claw giving the ultimate ground of pound happy noises, what they do in the wrestling ring, hype score. Like I don't know what do they do, Mac? Like to get besides the cheers.
You mean like the get the crowd to pop?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
What do
called.
they do?
They usually hype up the crowd like they gotta build to the fin. Nah, forget it. There's no point. They gotta make the crowd.
Okay.
Yeah, like you said.
Did
But
any of them pound the ground? Where they like
oh,
put their fists to the ground?
Randy Orton does that when he's getting ready for the RKO.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna do.
Okay. I was like, she's mentioning a wrestler. I'm like, Randy Orton's the only one I did that. But no, I feel like,
yeah,
I give it by the end of the year. I feel like more people will love this film, especially like, think about it. It released in the United States in December, and it was like, it didn't do internationally until next month in February when it's coming out in UK. So once it comes out in the UK, I definitely feel like it will definitely get more attention.
Mm-hmm.
So more eyes on it.
No. Number 8, my husband actually wanted to see this, so I'm excited to get it when it comes out. Oh, and y'all, I signed up to get like the design that A24 came with, and it came with like a poster of Harris Dickinson's character in it.
Oh,
and it's all about the Von Erichs
nice
film. So shout out to A24 for making a nice design. That's their like little magazine that they put out every
cool.
couple of months. So yeah. But yeah, what is your number 7?
So number 7 is the only Marvel movie that actually was good. And the worst part is that the guy is now at DC because it's going to be Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Crank up the volume for the biggest event of the summer. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is incredible, epic, a must-see. It's the best Marvel movie since Endgame.
And you're just telling me now?
Seems intuitive.
I can't stop this feeling.
It's good to have friends.
Deep inside of me.
Experience a brilliant end to a brilliant trilogy.
Exactly, you idiots.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, rated PG-13, in theaters May 5th. Tickets on sale now.
Oh,
I don't care what
that's a
anyone
little
says.
higher in my list.
I-
But go ahead. I'm ready to hear
Listen,
your thoughts.
there were so many contenders, and it was almost top 5, but I had to like repurpose it. But yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 literally has been the best thing since Phase 4 because everything else has sucked. I don't want to hear anything else about, Elementals was pretty. No, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 has been the best in a long while because it was just good. It was a character study, and it was a goodbye to the characters that we've gotten known since 2014. Batista's gone, James Gunn's leaving, Chris Pratt's probably going to be done for a bit. Like, everyone's like it's a farewell to people, and I like it. And like, it was emotional. It was like very emotional. It was funny. It was entertaining. It was hyped. I love the villain, and it's definitely just like, you know, I don't think it would have been made any other way if they didn't hire James Gunn back, in my opinion.
I completely agree. The movie's a little higher once we get into the top fives, but you said it perfectly. If they didn't bring back James Gunn, I don't think we would have had that emotional impact goodbye to all those characters.
No, and it's like it just makes sense because it's just like why it wouldn't have worked at all, and that's what I loved about it. It was cool. I like the dynamic between the characters, and they do a lot of bait and switch because you think that one character is gonna die and the other one it didn't die, and it actually made it really good. They actually played off that fact in the trailer, which was funny in the beginning of the movie. And it was definitely more of a Rocket movie that I liked a lot. And
Rocket is the heart and soul of the Guardians, and you know, it showed how his character shines in that film. So definitely agree. It
oh yeah,
has been the best Marvel film to come out since, I believe, like
probably No Way
uh
Home.
Endgame and No Way Home. Yeah.
And the funny thing is,
So
with No Way Home and freaking Guardians of the Galaxy 3, No Way Home is technically a Sony movie. It's not even a Marvel Studios movie, and Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is more of a James Gunn movie than it is a Marvel movie. So Marvel Studios has not really made a movie like for themselves that's good since Endgame. But if you want to go into that semantics argument, so I don't
damn,
know,
that's
but
good points.
like I don't know, like I know people. There's someone who said, "Well, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 isn't actually the best Marvel movie this year." I'm like, in what universe would you say that? Like someone on Xbox said, I'm like, what the hell? I think you're saying like, well, it wasn't really that emotionally attached. I'm like, you are on all sorts of weed. Then I don't know.
Oh no.
Like I have no idea. But yeah, no, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, strong number 7 on my list.
I like that 7 spot. Moving into my number 7 is a film produced by Martin Scorsese, Steven Spielberg, and I'm like lost half my stuff. And it's directed by Bradley Cooper, and it's his follow-up film from A Star Is Born, and it's Maestro.
I'm going to read a scene with Maestro Bernstein.
Maestro Bernstein? That sounds very fancy. And I'm the king.
You're the king. And this is your castle.
Oh, wonderful.
Now, even though you're the king, you're quite taken with me.
Yes.
And it tells the story of Leonard Bernstein and how he is a he's a music conductor and like known to be one of the greatest music composers. And the film just shows a relationship between him and his wife Felicia, and I thought it was great. It's a beautiful film that's shot on real film, and I thought Netflix took some dares with this film because it's a unique film for what it wants to tell, the story of Leonard Bernstein. And I love the cinematography that Matthew Libatique did the cinematography, and he's done so many films. He's worked on like whatchamacallit, Black Swan and Requiem a Dream. I know he's like had like a relationship with working with Darren Aronofsky, but he did such a good job with that. And he worked on one of my favorite films last year, The Whale. So getting to see his cinematography being shown once again was really exciting. And he did work on, like, I'm looking at it now, he did work with Bradley Cooper in Star Is Born when I previously looked at it. And he also did the cinematography too for Don't Worry Darling, and that's fine. But the performances in it are so great from Bradley Cooper himself and Carey Mulligan. Carey Mulligan is just so stinking
Great actress,
talented.
yeah.
It's still hard to compare from what she did in like Promising Young Woman, because I think Promising Young Woman is still my favorite performance she has ever done. And this is probably my second favorite she's ever done. She is so talented in this film, and she has this wonderfully built, beautiful chemistry with Leonard. Like I said, played by Bradley Cooper. Um, National Board Review, along with Iron Claw, like I said, with their top 10 films of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And I encourage you all to go check out the film because it does give an insight to Leonard and Felicia's family. And I know it has their approval of, the family. And here's a fun fact. I saw online somewhere that Bradley Cooper spent like 6 years like learning to do conducting for this
Interesting.
film.
Damn.
Yeah, so I I really liked it a lot. And just so you all know, Leonard Bernstein worked on a lot of Broadway like musicals and worked on some films. But one of the films that not films, but musicals he worked on was West Side Story.
Ooh.
So just he's no longer alive now. He passed away in 1990. So all right, so that was my number 7.
Okay, so my number 6,
You-
I'm gonna tell you this. Number 6 is gonna be John Wick Chapter 4.
It's a little higher on your list.
Listen, it's not really that much to repeat. Like the ones we already said, like we're just gonna rush it past. But yeah, John Wick Chapter 4. It is hard to rank the John Wick movies for me because they're just good. And I think with John Wick Chapter 4, it was definitely a great follow-up to 3 because I think 2 was good, but it wasn't as good as the first one. But 3 really fixed the problems for the second one had, and the fourth one was just a good like love letter to all like 3 of the movies so far. And it's just good action, great performances, and just creative with the like that. I know is it Stefanski? How do you pronounce his name? Stalsky?
I say Shalinsky.
Chad.
Kind Yeah.
Chad and Keanu definitely have good respect for stunt workers, and that's something I really appreciate because stunt performers do not get like a lot of praise. Because I think they even said like that stunt performers should get like an Oscar category. And honestly, I wouldn't mind that.
I've been saying that for years.
Yeah, because a lot of them they do stuff that's like, oh my god, like that's great. And then like knowing that it's a visually pleasing movie. Like the scene when he was in Japan when he was talking to god, what's that guy's name? The actor. He's a good actor. Damn it, I'm gonna lose my mind with that.
I'm trying to think of which one you're talking about because there's a
The
couple
dad,
scenes.
the dad when they were in Japan.
Oh.
Yeah, the dad.
Yes.
Scorpion. I don't know his name, but he's a good actor because he's been in a lot of stuff. But I just think with those shots are really good, and I know that he's doing a Ghost of Tsushima movie, which is based on a video game, and I'm really excited for that to come out because that's a game based in feudal Japan with samurai. So it's literally I feel like it's gonna be the same style as it's gonna be in the same style as John Wick, and I'm all down for it. If you haven't played Ghost
I
of
wonder if Chad is working on that film.
He's directing it.
Oh, he is?
Yeah,
I didn't realize that. Okay.
And if you have never played Ghost of Tsushima, play it. If you can't play it, watch gameplay and just know that
I gotta still know if he's played it.
Just know that it's in good hands.
Okay, I gotta still into if he's played it because I don't think my husband hasn't seen any of the John Wick films. I have to show them to him. I mean, but that's a good pick. I talked about it earlier too, so I don't think much of our opinions are very different of how we both loved the John Wick 4 film.
Yeah.
Moving on to my number 6. Coming in at number 6 is a movie I got to see with our good friend Dom, and that was Dumb Money.
Holy, there's no other movie like Dumb Money.
More feedback coming in hot.
Holy.
GameStop shares absolutely going nuts.
Holy. I will tell you, I've never seen anything like it.
Holy.
Hey, don't say the bad word.
Bro, you never bet against Wall Street. Why?
Oh, language. The baby's here. Dumb Money, exclusively in theaters. Rated R.
I did not get to see that,
so good. I really loved this movie a lot. It's based on the book, The Anti-Social Network. And it's about the GameStop short squeeze of January 2021 with the GameStop Wall Street debacle. That was great, and I loved everybody in this movie. This had another great cast of performances from Paul Dano, which is another damn shame that this film did not get recognized by Golden Globes. Like I'm surprised, like because the script was really good. They had a lot of unique characters, and I'm surprised how quickly this film came to be because this was just back in
About 2021.
2021.
Yeah.
And now we're in like into 2024. This movie came out in 2023, and I'm just like, wow,
I still remember
they
when
bought the rights to that film.
I
Yeah,
still remember when
yeah.
this happened. It was wild, and I think that within like that couple months later, they're like, "Yeah, we're making a movie about that," and it's like, "Oh," and like I saw who was involved. I was like, like why Seth Rogen?" But then you told me it's like really good.
Oh, the whole cast is really good between Paul Dano, Pete Davidson, Vincent D'Onofrio, America Ferrera, Nick Offerman, Anthony Ramos, Seth Rogen, Sebastian Stan, Shane Lee Woodley, Dane DeHaan, Olivia Thirlby. Like, there's a lot of good performance in this, and everyone is so perfectly casted.
Mm-hmm.
And shout out because this film was filmed in parts of the areas that I grew up in. So
I was gonna say
it was interesting.
I was gonna say it feels like it didn't look like it was filmed in Jersey. I'm not even joking. Like it actually does look like parts of Jersey.
It's not shot, even though it's like not. It's supposed to be set in Massachusetts.
Really? What? You can't come to Boston, you son of a bitch.
But yeah, I was definitely pleased with this movie. It was had its premiere at the Toronto International Film Festival. I really liked it a lot. With the way that it told the story, and the way that this movie was, it was basically Reddit the movie. I like to put it to people. So, if you enjoy movies like The Social Network, which this film does have a connection to it because the movie is produced by one of the people who worked on The Social Network. So, yeah, I highly recommend it. So, it is. They took a lot of like references to it. So, or they had one of the writers from The Social Network, excuse me.
Okay. Oh god, that was funny. But no, I'll try to check out Dumb Money as much as I can because I did want to see it myself. It was good.
Yes, highly recommend it. And I just want to get the name of the person who worked on the The Social Network, because there was a connection to The Social Network. And that was I can't find anything that I want. Okay. Never mind. Ignore what I'm saying.
Okay.
I can't get my answer right now, but yeah, go ahead. What's
So
your number 5?
So I will say my number 5 is this is the top 5 territory. So I know when I post this, people will be like, damn it. Number 5 is gonna be Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves.
We're gonna need a team.
How are we gonna pull this off? Figure it out over a drink?
Probably best. Dungeons and Dragons.
I haven't watched that yet, and I'm really annoyed I haven't watched it
telling
yet.
you, watch it because it's really good. Because this is a movie where I thought the trailer looked like it wasn't gonna be good or anything, but it actually looks really. It was actually really funny. It was entertaining. It was like funny. Chris Pine was hilarious. Like everyone in the cast is great. I actually love it. Hugh Grant stole the show as the villain. Like it was so funny. And
Hugh
like
Grant's the villain in
yeah,
this?
he is.
Ooh.
He's funny because like I half the times I don't even know if he's like acting or he's just improvising. It just makes it funnier. The action was pretty fun, and it's like how do I describe it? It's like an adventure film. It's like Ocean's 11 meets Lord of the Rings meets Dungeons and Dragons, and it's fun because they're getting a team together, you're doing a heist, and it's fun. It's a fun, funny movie. We quote old Jonathan all the time, and the thing that makes it better too is that you don't even have to be a fan of D&D to really get it. Like there are some stuff like you may not know because if you play the game, then it'll be in the movie and everything like that. But it's actually really does a good job of standing on his own. So that's what I liked about the Dungeons and Dragon movie.
How was what's his face? Justice Smith, I think his name is.
He was actually really funny. He plays like a sorcerer who has very low self-esteem of himself, and he actually is probably one of the most relatable people in the movie, and it's really funny.
I just want to make sure if that's the right character I'm saying.
Yeah,
so.
he that's Justice Smith. Yes, that's him.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So I still have yet to see it. I know it's available on Paramount. I just haven't watched it yet. I wanted to get my husband to see it, and we just haven't watched it yet. But yeah, it's on the list. So yeah, moving on to my number 5, and that is no surprise with for me as a Martin Scorsese fan, I gotta put Killers of the Flower Moon.
$1,000 for any information about these murders.
We need to find the truth about these killings. I know what I gotta do.
Your uncle. You scared of him?
I'm gonna tell you who did it.
Oh my God. Killers of the Flower Moon. Rated R. Only in theaters October 20th. Get tickets now.
So it's a Western crime drama, and I really liked it a lot. It's based on the 2017 nonfiction book of the same name, and I thought it does a really great job bringing the story to life, and Lily Gladstone is definitely like the front runner to win the Oscar for this year.
Well, she already won the Golden Globe for Best Actress.
She did. Leonardo DiCaprio is great. Robert De Niro is great. Jesse Plemons is great. John Lithgow. We saw a cameo from Brendan Fraser. He has a small role. I shouldn't say.
Yeah, I don't know,
but it's a small role.
I don't know about.
I was like, oh.
I don't know about Brendan Fraser in this movie. I'm like back and forth because people are like, why did he win an Oscar? But I like it was like, you idiots, boy. I'm like, wait.
I remember seeing him. He's just so cute in this film when he said that.
He's out of place, but I love him still. So I can't be mad at him.
I know. I can't, and I remember him he was so excited when he got that part. Do you remember his reaction?
Yes.
I just thought, oh, like this is the performance. I just wanted to go pat him on the back and say, good job, you did it. I'm so proud of you.
It could have been worse, but I feel like it was fine. But yeah, keep going with this Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah, but I really liked everything from this movie, from the cinematography, score was really good. From oh god, I can't even say that, by Robbie Robertson. And also I wanted to acknowledge something that at the very end of the film, Martin Scorsese makes an appearance at the end, but also Jack White is a radio host, and I was not expecting to see Jack White in a Martin Scorsese film. And it's a long film. I give this movie a lot of credit because for a almost nearly 3-hour movie, it captured me in just enough time. And also Robbie Robertson died 2 months prior to the film's release, and they did dedicate the film to him. And I also really like seeing Apple TV take the risk and releasing it in theaters before, because this film was released on October 20th, and it just hit Apple TV. So
yeah, remember he was having trouble finding a distributor for it because no one wanted it, and Apple TV took him on.
Yeah, I mean, how do you say no to Martin Scorsese? And I'm very happy that Apple worked with him. And it does tell an important story of the people of the Osage members. It focuses on a series of murders of the Osage members and the relations to the Osage Nation after oil was discovered on tribal land. The tribal members had retained mineral rights on their reservation, but corrupt local political boss sought to steal the tribal members' wealth, and it did such a good job, especially with Lily Gladstone and Leonardo DiCaprio, where it showed he was taking advantage of her.
Mm-hmm.
And they both really I think they both the characters that they were portraying and the people that they were portraying, I think they both really did love each other. You know?
Yeah, that's what made it tragic, but it was so good though.
It was so good. It was just like this.
So did you like this better than The Irishman?
Oh, I did, definitely. Even though I do like The Irishman, this one is just like, oh, so good. My dad, like, I saw this in theaters with my friends, and it was like, this was like the first time I got to take my friends to see a Martin Scorsese movie, so I was a proud cinephile.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I really wanted to go see it with my dad, but he was like, oh, Apple's like releasing it, then I'll wait for Apple TV. And then immediately when it came out, he watched it right away and he called me. He's like, that was amazing, but it was so sad. It was so long, but it was so amazing. Like, he loved it. So Martin Scorsese got the seal of approval for my dad. And we got to see him talk about it at the Montclair Film Festival.
I know.
So
I was like,
also a
you lucky
bonus.
bastard.
So that also made the film extra special and made me want to put this on the list because this movie felt extra special to me. And I loved seeing how this film came to life and seeing Marty talk about it. So it was really good.
It was just good to finally see a Martin Scorsese movie in theaters for me.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, okay. All right. Mac, what's your number 4?
Number 4, it's going to be Barbie.
July 21st, rated PG-13.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So when I post this, people are going to be like, listen, you motherfucker, why is Barbie not number 3 or 2, you mother... Yeah, but listen,
or is
I
it
love
higher, but like, I'm surprised you put this. This didn't even make my top 10.
Listen, well, okay, I'm not going to say like it's not like a top 10 movie. It was a good movie. Would I say like it's the best film of the year that I saw? No. But it's still good for what it is because it brought people to the theaters. It was a fun blockbuster. It was just nice to have. Like, it's not a feminist movie too. I know people were like, "Oh, it's a feminist movie." Like, no, it really isn't. I mean, it is.
It has feminist
It is free, but it's not in your face about it though. Like, it's not like freaking like Assassination Nation or like the 2019 Black Christmas movie, which is like, oh god, that's an example of a bad take like that. But no, with Barbie, I think the performances are good. It's just a fun summer movie. Like, although it's a feminist like themes in it, it's still a fun like movie based on a toy that pretty much everyone grew up with. And I think the cast and the crew did a good job of capturing that feeling of what made Barbie special. And I'm glad it's getting all this recognition and awards because it honestly deserves it, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm. It's and I think it's the best Greta Gerwig film.
Oh yeah,
it's
definitely.
One of Margot Robbie's best performances. Ryan Gosling just even shows like how great his comedy chops are.
Well, I can't wait for him
everything in that film is just fun.
I can't wait for him for the Fall Guy. It actually looks really funny.
Oh, that's gonna be awesome.
No,
so,
but with yeah, like even with I'm Ken Enough, that's probably gonna win something. It's gonna win more stuff.
Did you see his reaction at the Critics' Choice Awards? That was priceless.
He's probably like, cool, yeah, I gotta.
All right, live reaction. I'm gonna send you the clip of Ryan Gosling reacting to him winning the Critics' Choice Awards, and this is the picture, y'all. This is a live reaction from Mac. This is the picture of Ryan Gosling reacting to the award. Or let me put it in our chat.
We share a birthday too, so he's like really special to me. Speaking, we're both Scorpios.
Right. This is his reaction, and the internet went crazy for it. I'm surprised he didn't see it. Did you check the chat?
Chat. Oh, I think you're gonna send me a text message.
No.
All right,
not a text.
Ryan Gosling. What is this? Potential security. Yeah, download it. Whatever. All right, what is this? It's downloading. Oh, here it is.
You got it. That's his reaction when he found out Just Ken won the other night.
The definition of literally me. I'm going to save this picture and I'm gonna put it in my phone because that is the funniest thing I've ever seen. He looks so confused.
He's so confused that he won.
I don't know. See, my thing with Ryan Gosling is like, is he socially awkward? Because he has moments where I'm like, I don't know if like I relate to him because I don't know how to talk sometimes, but like Ryan Gosling, I feel like that's literally me. Like, I'm not kidding.
He's a character, and his reactions are great.
Oh, that's funny.
Even his wife Eva Mendes posted about it, and I just thought she is just so cool. I just love the two of them together, and Ryan just knows how to get those reactions. They're so good.
I'm airdropping it
So
to
good.
myself. That's gonna be my profile picture now.
You should.
I'm making it now. Oh my god!
Anytime you make your next TikTok, you just put that image. Or if you're gonna do some kind of silly meme, you gotta use that photo.
He looks so like what?
You
Oh
gotta
my
watch
God.
it. You gotta watch the full thing. It's
That's
so priceless. It's so good.
Oh my god! What's your number 4? I'm gonna post that. I'm
All
okay.
right, moving. While you make that your new profile picture, I'm gonna go
making
into
it-
my number 4.
Yep.
And this film, another film that should have been nominated for its incredible performances, and y'all need to go check out on Netflix, and it's Fair Play.
You know it's just a game.
You played very well. Boom.
You're crazy.
You're crazy.
You're crazy.
Fair Play is an erotic psychological thriller directed, which makes the directorial debut of Chloe Dumont and oh my god, Phoebe Duvernay and Alden Emmerich are just so stinking good, and I'm so mad that Phoebe did not get a recognition for any kind of like Academy Award, or not an Academy Award, but Golden Globe, SAG. Like Phoebe Duvernay gives a like class like act performance, and if you like basic like instincts and stuff like that, like those erotic thrillers that are filled with intensity and like sex and cutthroat edge, and the relationship is just so good between her and Alden Emmerich. Like Alden Emmerich, we know what he did in the Star Wars and the Han Solo film. Like we know he's aware of it. He took a break, and now he's come back stronger than ever with this film. And also he has a short film that he directed that if you ever get the chance to see it, go check it out. But he's so stinking good. The two of them have like this, like they first start off, as a happy couple, and they work in the same place. Like nobody knows at work that they're together. And then all of a sudden, Phoebe Duvernay's character gets promoted in this business, and Alden Emmerich's character gets very jealous very quickly, and so good. Like the intensity of the relationship, what you see on screen is just enthralling with intensity, and just the ending. I can't even describe what you see at the end. Like it's shocking, and it's just like it's almost kind of powerful, but it's also problematic. But it's so good. Rain Johnson was an executive producer of this film, and I see why. And I highly recommend it all the way through. Yeah, so good. That's all I can say. It's so good for an erotic thriller, for something like this. And it makes me excited to see the return of Alden Emmerich, what he's going to do with his career, and Phoebe Duvernay. Because Phoebe was from Bridgerton, and literally she is a star in the making from after what we saw, what people have seen in Bridgerton.
Love Bridgerton.
So, yeah. You like Bridgerton?
Yes, I do. My grandmother got me into it.
Oh, interesting. I haven't seen it.
It's pretty good.
It just wasn't wasn't for me. Like, Shonda Rhimes, I think is a hit or miss for some audiences, but I do like, some episodes of How to Get Away with Murder and stuff like that, like, I know she's done for the Grey's Anatomy. I know. I just never got into it. But yeah, I haven't watched it, but I do know she was with the guy that gay Jean Paul from Bridgerton. Yeah. That's the other character that was on the show, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. That's why, because I haven't seen it, so I should probably watch it at some point.
Yes.
So, but I know Jonathan Bailey's in it.
Yes, he is.
So, But yeah, moving on. What's your number 3?
All right, so number 3 is gonna be Killers of the Flower Moon as well, being the first Scorsese film I saw in theaters. It was a really good film. I didn't mind the runtime because the film actually captured my attention for the 3-hour runtime, and I definitely thought it was interesting. Didn't think it was gonna go that way because I had no idea about the real story. My friend, she was telling me about it. We saw it together, and it was just really compelling and interesting about learning this true story and the inspirations that it pretty much was eerily similar to the Tulsa massacres in Oklahoma in, like, I believe 10 years prior, or it happened a few years before these events happened too, which made it a big central point in the theme of the film. And everyone did a good job with their performances. Leo did good. Lily Gladstone was great. Like, there was no weak spot. Even, like I mentioned before, Brendan Fraser, he was pretty interesting. He was funny. He's like, "You idiot boy." It's just, I might put that clip in there. He's like, "You idiot boy," but it's a very good film. Definitely will say it was worth seeing it in theaters. Like, if this came out only on
Absolutely.
if this came out only on like Apple TV, I probably would have not watched it, but I liked it better in theaters.
Oh yeah, this was like meant to be seen in theaters, and I'm happy I did, because I feel like that way that would have been different for me if I didn't. Like, I feel like I would have put The Irishman a little bit higher on my list when it came out if I saw it in theaters, because Marty brings a sense of essence of like the theater epicness, and when his films got like pushed to streaming, it's like I feel like it's different.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, The Irishman is great, and I'm sure I haven't watched Killers of the Flower Moon since, but I just feel like watching it on Apple might be a little different for me as as us as cinephiles. I feel like we're gonna be like, we have to go see this, in a theater to experience that. So
Yeah.
there's an epicness to it. And here's another thing about epicness. I haven't seen Napoleon yet,
Me
so
neither.
I know that one was like also like I'm sure like a theater epic experience too, because
Quality may vary.
but I just didn't get to see it.
Quality may vary. Ridley Scott calling us millennials ungrateful for the theater.
Yeah.
Man.
Meanwhile, as we buy tickets to like Barbie and like Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, suck it, Ridley Scott. I was joking. I like Ridley Scott. Actually, yeah, well, that's another. We should do a Ridley Scott episode. I have a lot to say about him. But yeah, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is something that you talked about earlier, and that was Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I'm not saying anything different like what you said. I loved Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Guardians of the Galaxy films have such a huge place in my heart. And I remember going to the theaters to see the first one, and then going opening weekend night of the sequel, and going to see the second film at least 2 or 3 times in the theater, and just being so happy and in love with all these characters. And when James Gunn was first let go of it, I was like, there's no way that they can tell this story, and knowing he was then brought back because of the cast is like, we're not going to do it unless you bring back everybody, and they brought him back, and I'm so happy because this film is just such an epic conclusion, and this is part of Phase 5 of the MCU, and this is definitely the best part of Phase 5. It's such a great goodbye to these characters of how like they were first came to be. The soundtrack is really good. I haven't been able to stop. The Dog Days Are Over, and every time I listen to it, I get so happy, and I think of the epic ending as it was. Like, it just feels so happy, even though you're so sad. It's like I can't tell you how many tissues I had to use because I was just crying so much because of like happiness and sadness, and just full of so many anxious emotions and stuff. And everyone kills it in this film, and I'm happy about the way it ends. And I think the Guardians films are just perfect every time.
Agreed.
Every time I watch them, even what you say about either the first one or the second one, I just think they're so good. Like I was like thinking about it because I was talking with our like my friends and like my husband's friends, and I'm just like, yeah, the second one it works better with this, but I'm like, wait, no, I like this one. Like, I always flip flop about which one I like more, and that's the great part about the what James Gunn did with all these movies, because they're just all so good.
Agreed.
So, for the fourth highest grossing film of 2023, it earned the number 3 spot for me. So, yeah, simple enough. Our praise is pretty much the same. What is your number 2?
So number 2 for me is gonna be Oppenheimer.
Albert, when I came to you with those calculations, we thought we might start a chain reaction that would destroy the entire world.
I remember it well. What happened?
I believe we did. I am become death.
Oh, okay.
So I love Christopher Nolan, you know me with Christopher Nolan and stuff like that. But my thing with that is that it was such a good movie. Like, I love the freaking where do I start? So the cinematography was great. The soundtrack, I have a lot of the songs on my Spotify because this was that
Ludwig is just the ultimate.
yes.
He's like our generation's Hans Zimmer, personally speaking.
That was good, and then like just everything about it, and then the performances. Cillian Murphy was great. Oppenheimer, I think there was no bad stuff. Robert Downey Jr. killed it as Strauss. I knew from the fact watching the movie, like, yep, he's gonna be nominated for something, and he won best supporting actor at the Golden Globes. So
And he won the other night at Critics' Choice too.
So he will be in Oscar contention because he did a really good job, and I just think that it does a great job building up to the tension of the bomb dropping. Like, it rushes to that scene, and after that, you still engage. Like, it's a almost 3 hour movie, and it feels like it goes by because you're just having fun with it.
Mm-hmm. I never felt like, the runtime go as slow. I felt fully invested with it. And that's like the same kind of thing how I felt about with Killers of the Flower Moon. Like, that was the great thing is, like, you were invested the entire time.
Yes.
For like the history movies, at least I saw this year.
Mhm.
Like, the runtime didn't bother me. And I was like, oh wow, that's great. So do you have anything else you want to say about it or not?
No, it's just I really don't have a lot else to say because it was just so I definitely want to rewatch it. It's coming to Peacock on February 16th. We'll definitely be putting it on.
Well, I just got it on Blu-ray, so I was like, I had to wait for a
Nice.
while for it. So, I was like, did you see how it's like so popular now? Like, Universal's like, we gotta make more copies.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Because it's a good ass movie.
Yeah, you gotta watch it. And I'm sure, like, maybe like X amount of years from now, we're gonna get like a Criterion edition of it, and Christopher Nolan will get that seal of approval, give it that stamp on it. But moving in, and my number 2 is Yorgos Lanthimos' film, Poor Things.
I am finding being alive fascinating.
Go home.
Here's the thing with me. I was very excited to see this film. I loved the trailer for it. I thought it was wild. I thought it was insane. And then when I was on my little vacation with my husband after my wedding, or our wedding, we were walking around the Barnes and Nobles. It was a rainy day where we were staying, and my husband and I love going to Barnes and Nobles. And I saw Poor Things out on a table, and I was like, wait a minute, this is based on a book? So I was like, I picked it up right away, and I was like, okay, the movie's coming out, and I'm gonna read it before I see it. And I read it in just a month, and it's written by Alistair Gray came out in 1992, and I loved the book and I loved the film. It's a wild film with amazing performances, and it's no surprise to me that Emma Stone has been killing it this award season, and it won't be a surprise if she wins the Academy Award. It's between her and Lily Gladstone at this point. About who will take home the award. And it's a beautiful film of what it wants to say about sexism, patriarchy, and mental health, feminism. Like there's a this, if you want to talk about Barbie and feminism, then you may not like things, but I love the wildness and zaniness that is Poor Things. It's a great book. I love the relationship with Emma Stone has with Mark Ruffalo and Willem Dafoe. Like I go like a little bit more in depth in it on my review. So if you want to go check out my review, go check it out. But yeah, I love this film of self discovery, and also goes over a lot of stuff with sex. Lots of sex in this film. So fair warning. So there's some daring stuff in this film, and I applaud Yargos for doing some daring stuff for this film. So good for him. But yeah. But I'm also annoyed because I gotta bring this up, but Barbie is now gonna be like one of those contenders for adapted screenplay, but the way that they brought this book to life to the screen just breaks my heart. Because I'm like, I'm sure it's gonna go to Greta and her husband Noah Baumbach, but Tony McNamara did such a good job. And the book is very difficult, so it's a complex read. So Tony did such a good job, and I'm just annoyed that Tony's not gonna get that recognition. Hopefully he should though. He should. So if he does get nominated, I'll just be happy. So yeah. Anyways, Mac, you gotta say your number one.
All right, so before I do my number one, let me get you with my honorable mentions. So there's a lot of them. So my honorable mentions will be Knock at the Cabin, Plane, Air, Cocaine Bear, Asteroid City, Saltburn, Gran Turismo, Bottoms, The Equalizer 3, Sisu, I wrote Bottoms twice, whoops, Megan, and The Iron Claw.
Okay, those are some good ones. Oh, you saw Bottoms?
Yes, I did.
What did you think of it?
I loved it. I loved it. It was so much better than the other one they made. The top, what was it? The Bros. It was so much better than Bros.
Oh, for like LGBTQ
yeah,
comedies?
in my opinion, yeah.
Marshawn Lynch though was really funny in it.
He was.
I just recently watched it, and I was like, oh my god, this guy's really funny, and he's nominated for not a Critics' Choice Award, Independent Spirit Award. He's really funny in it.
One of my favorite things with him was Brooklyn Nine-Nine when they had him as a witness. He's like, I like to sleep with the fan. I like to sleep with the fan on out of the full blast. I was like, I love this guy. He's so funny. But number one, I
saw him in that Will Arnett show on Netflix, and he makes an appearance in one of the episodes. It's really funny. I can't think of it, but
he's like naturally funny. It's like hard to describe,
Okay, yeah. Sorry, I got distracted. I was like, oh, Bottoms. I just recently watched that as well. But go ahead.
My number one is Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh, I was wondering when there was gonna like pop up.
I was like, man, she has it so high, mine's is like so low. Yeah, Across the Spider-Verse. What can I say? The first film was such like almost the perfect Spider-Man film, like Into the Spider-Verse, because I had no faith in it because I was scared. I was like, damn, this is probably not gonna get it Sony, but they did it a good job with it, and they're like a sequel. I'm like, yes, and the sequel managed to possibly be better. I don't know. That's just me. I like this a lot. Well, I don't know. It's hard because
you gotta revisit, right?
I have to, but I feel like I do like I like the first one because of the What's Up Danger falling scene. Like that's badass and iconic. But Across the Spider-Verse definitely took everything from the first one and like amplified it. And I did like the ending. I liked that it got me ready to I want more Spider-Verse, and I want to see where they take this character next in the last film. So I'm not gonna add too much that you added on, but it's just great. I love it.
Oh, well, I'm happy to see where it landed on your list. So for my honorable mentions, I have International Space Station, ISS. That's going to be coming out this upcoming weekend. So if you get to see it, get to see it. Shortcomings, that's directed by Randall Park. Air, Infinity Pool, Beau is Afraid, Saltburn. I hated it. I don't know whether to determine if this was a film or not. Like it's a concert film, but the Taylor Swift Eras Tour. Renfield, Talk to Me, American Symphony, How to Blow Up a Pipeline, Guy Ritchie's The Covenant, Priscilla, Anatomy of a Fall, Dream Scenario, Barbie, and All of Us Strangers. Those are all my honorable mentions. But yeah, my number one is Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer.
Nice.
I'm not going to say anything different like what you said, but I loved this epic biographical film of what Nolan wanted to do and tell the story. And it's so good. I loved every scene. I was so gripped with Cillian Murphy in this film. Like Cillian Murphy just was the perfect Cillian Murphy, thank you, was the perfect casting choice as Robert Oppenheimer. And I loved everybody in this film. And I love the action, the sequences when they're blowing up, doing the bomb testing. There was a lot of great stuff that happens. Ludwig is just, like I said earlier, our Hans Zimmer of our generation. Just so good with the music. Nolan did a really great job with the screenplay. I thought it was great. You know, some people had were a little bit questionable about, his connection with Florence Pugh and that stuff that happens. But I'm like, you know what? I'm overlooking it. Everything else is really good. I thought there's a lot of people in this film between Josh Peck, Jack Quaid, Michael Angarnello from if you remember from the whatchamacallit, Sky High films, he makes an appearance. Malcolm Blair, which I got really excited to see. Tony Goodwin, Alden Ehrenreich, Dane DeHaan, Dylan Arnold, Jason Clarke, Benny Safdie, Kenneth Branagh. It's just like everybody's in this. Like who's who in Hollywood is in this.
Nolan's like,
even Matt Damon. Like I remember like when Matt Damon was casted, and then I was like, oh wait, that's right, he was casted in this. And then Rami Malek was casted. Like this movie had the biggest cast besides Barbie, and it was released, the same weekend as Barbenheimer. Hello, that was me at the weekend over, when it came out, seeing both. So both movies, whether Barbie is number one or your Oppenheimer was number one, both films were so great in theaters, even though Oppenheimer, I must say, was the better watch. Cinematography wise, just execution wise, it's just so good. I loved it. Definitely one of my favorites, and definitely my favorite. Probably I need to revisit some Christopher Nolan picks, but it's so good. And I know this is like his movie to say, if you want to call Christopher Nolan the best director of all time, then go watch Oppenheimer.
Yes, agreed.
So
it was like Nolan's like, we're making a movie, and then everyone just is like assemble.
It's like the Avengers assemble, and
everybody
in Hollywood just emerges from a cave and goes,
let's do this.
So yeah, those are my picks. I hope y'all liked them, because I like yours, Mac.
Thank you. They will be posted soon, and it was freaking it'll be up, but I just wanted to keep it fresh to be like, I want to surprise people. But no, we had fun with our list. We loved Winnie's being the year list, and 2024 it could be a better year, it could be the same year, it could be even a worse year, but we're gonna have to see. But let us know down in the comments below what were some of your favorite movies of the year, and what did you
tell us how we're wrong.
Yeah, so what movies do you like, you didn't put this on the list, this shouldn't be the list, you suck, like delete your channel, all that good stuff. Put it down in the comments below. Make sure to check us out on our TikTok page, the M&K Productions Podcast, and our personal TikTok pages too. Make sure you check out the Instagram page, M&K Productions Podcast, and our personal pages as well. And make sure to check us out on all your streaming sites for Anchor, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you listen to your podcast. And make sure you join us in the next episode. We got a good, fun slate of episodes coming at you your way. But until next time, I've been Mac, and this has been Kristen, and you've been listening to the M&K Productions Podcast. Peace.
You in the lane you came with. Me and you ain't on the same shit. You ain't in my lane, bitch. Nah, throw that shit in fifth. Rollie on my wrist. Ay, baby, you a star. I'm my only wish. I'm counting blue hundreds. I'm too money. Ay, and my little bitch, she too lovely. Yeah, hanging up and calling me right back. Ay, baby, why you calling me like that? Yeah, getting high with the seat, lay back. Baby, gon' relax, yeah.